Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we unlock the surprising stories hidden right under our noses. Today, we're looking at a real icon, the Dachshund. Now, when you picture a Dachshund, you probably see that, that adorable long body, maybe the waddle, that classic sausage dog charm, cute, quirky, maybe even a bit pampered. But what if I told you there's this whole hidden history, incredible bravery, some really ingenious engineering, and a pretty wild journey through history and pop culture? Today, we're going way beyond just cute companion. We're doing a deep dive into the unexpected depths of this unique breed.
It's amazing, isn't it? That shape, it's not just like a funny accident of genetics. It's basically biological engineering, perfectly honed for fighting underground. That's the real story here. It's design, not just evolution. And their actual name, gives us the first big clue about where they really came from. Hints at a much wilder past.
Okay, let's get into that. Because Dachshund, the literal meaning, probably know what most people are thinking when they see one trotting down the street.
You're absolutely right. Dachshund literally translates from German as badger dog. Simple as that. Badger dog. It just, boom, shatters that cuddly image right away and points to this primal purpose. They were bred in Germany, over 600 years ago, specifically for one job: hunting badgers.
600 years. Wow. And badgers. I mean, for anyone who hasn't met one, they're not exactly pushovers, are they?
Oh, not at all.
They're tough, really tenacious animals. Sharp claws, strong jaws. So these dogs weren't just like chasing rabbits. They were going head to head with these things underground. Yeah. And that body shape, that sausage shape we all know, that wasn't just, for looks.
Not even close. It was deliberate. Absolutely brilliant design, actually.
Think about a badger burrow. It's tight. It twists and turns.
Exactly.
A bigger dog, a normal shaped dog, just couldn't get in there. But a Dachshund, they were literally engineered to slide right down those tunnels.
Precisely. Right to where the badger was hiding. But it wasn't just the shape, though, that was crucial. Their claws, too sharp, almost like little spades, perfect for digging through roots and packed earth. And their personality, well, they had to be incredibly brave, tenacious, stubborn even.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Imagine facing a cornered, angry badger in the dark, in its own home turf. A Dachshund needed that absolute fearlessness, that sheer persistence. Without that mix, the body, the claws, and this incredibly bold spirit, they just wouldn't have worked. They wouldn't have been successful hunters.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? When you see that stubborn streak today, or that sort of big dog attitude they have, how much of that is just a direct line back to those hunting days? Digging in the garden, like their life depends on it.
That drive is still there. Absolutely. Deep in the DNA.
But the design, the engineering, it didn't stop there, did it?
Yeah.
What about their bark? That surprisingly loud, deep bark for such a little dog. It catches people off guard.
Huh. Yeah, it really does. It's one of their signatures today, isn't it? Often kind of funny. But that loud bark, again, totally practical, a crucial adaptation for the hunt, almost a survival tool, really, for everyone involved.
How so?
Well, think about it. The dog's deep underground, maybe locked in a fight, maybe cornered. The hunters are up top. They can't see anything, can't hear much through the earth. So that deep, booming bark, it acted like sonar, an acoustic beacon in the dark.
Oh, okay.
It told the hunters exactly where their little dog was, where they needed to dig to help out or pull the dog back. It's just another piece of evidence for how every trait had a purpose.
An acoustic beacon, I love that. That's perfect. It's phenomenal how purpose-built these dogs were. Every single thing, body shape, claws, even their voice. A specific, vital function.
It really was remarkable focus in breeding.
Which makes you wonder, maybe all that intense focus on hunting traits had other, perhaps unforeseen impacts.
That's a really interesting point, and we'll definitely touch on something related when we talk about their health later. But first, let's consider how tied they became to Germany itself. They weren't just popular there, they really became this unofficial symbol of the country.
Right, and that symbolic status, well, it had some really tough consequences, didn't it? Especially during World War I.
Yes, unfortunately.
Their popularity just plummeted in places like the U.S. and Britain. People associated them so strongly with Germany that, anti-German feelings turned against the dogs themselves.
You're quite sobering.
It really is. Just imagine an innocent dog suddenly becoming a symbol of the enemy because of human conflicts. Think about owning one back then. The social pressure. It says so much about how culture and politics can seep into even, pet ownership.
It's a stark example, yeah. How quickly things can change for a breed caught in geopolitical crosscurrents. But it also highlights their resilience. That's kind of a theme with dachshunds. Despite that huge dip, their fundamental charm, their unique character, it was just too strong. After the wars, they slowly climbed back, became the worldwide family pets we know now. Their appeal, ultimately, went beyond nationalism.
And speaking of appeal, some of their famous fans are genuinely surprising. Did you know Albert Einstein had a dachshund?
Oh, yes. Chico,
that's right. Apparently, he was quite the guard dog on Einstein's evening walks, sometimes even picking fights with other dogs.
Huh. Yes, the stories are great, and Einstein's just one example. There's this whole connection, especially with creative types. They've often been called the artist's dog.
Really?
Yeah, think of Picasso. He had Lump, his dachshund, who famously ended up in some of his paintings. Apparently, Lump would just wander into the studio.
Interrupting the master.
Exactly. And Andy Warhol, he was a huge dachshund fan, had a couple, Archie and Amos. They were almost part of his whole persona. And more recently, stars like Adele, David Bowie, there's just something about them.
I wonder what it is. Maybe it's the quirky look.
Oh.
Or that sort of expressive, stubborn personality. They definitely stand out. Maybe artists relate to that bold individualism.
Could be. They're certainly characters. And there's another historical moment, maybe less known, that really cemented their place, the 1972 Munich Olympics.
Ah, yes. Waldy.
Exactly. Waldy, the colorful dachshund, became the very first official Olympic mascot ever.
And get this, the marathon route for those Olympics, it was actually designed in the shape of a dachshund.
That's right.
Runners literally traced Waldy's outline.
Yeah.
How cool is that? It wasn't just a mascot on posters. The dog was literally part of the landscape of the games. A subtle nod to Germany on the world stage.
It really shows how deeply ingrained the breed became, doesn't it? Moving from just a German hunting dog to a global symbol at the Olympics, it shows a kind of affection and recognition that's pretty rare for any breed.
Now, when most people think dachshund, they probably picture the smooth, short-haired kind. But there's actually more variety, isn't there?
Oh, definitely. It's more like a family of breeds, really. You've got the short-haired, of course, but also the long-haired ones with those, elegant, feathery coats. And the wire-haired type, they have that rough, wiry coat and often a bit of a beard. Very distinct look.
Right. And
then there are the sizes, standard, which is the biggest, miniature, and then an even smaller one called Kaninchen.
Kaninchen.
Yeah, it means rabbit in German. So Kenin dachshunds were bred to hunt rabbits in even smaller burrows.
Wow, so quite a range. But they all share that attitude, right?
Oh, absolutely. Regardless of coat or size, they all have that fearless spirit.
Which brings us to that famous big dog mentality. Anyone who's lived with one knows exactly what we mean. They just don't seem to grasp their own size.
Not at all. And it's not just like a funny personality quirk. It's directly from their hunting heritage. Historically, these dogs weren't just tackling badgers. They were known to go after foxes, even wild boar sometimes. Some old accounts even mention bears, though maybe take that with a pinch of salt.
Seriously, wild boar.
Yes. That fearlessness is still right there. Owners always joke about it. Their dachshund genuinely thinks it's a Great Dane half the time, ready to defend the house from the mail carrier or, a much bigger dog at the park. I saw one once, this tiny miniature, trying to boss around a huge Labrador, just absolutely convinced it was in charge.
That sounds about right. It's definitely still in the programming.
Now, we talked about the unique shape being great for hunting, but that long back, it does create some specific health vulnerability.
Right, the spine issues.
Exactly. They are particularly prone to something called intervertebral disc disease, or IVDD. It's where the discs between the vertebrae can bulge or rupture. It can be incredibly painful, potentially leading to paralysis.
Which, I suppose, makes sense structurally. All that length, not as much support. It puts extra stress there. So, given that vulnerability, what's something maybe less obvious that owners can do to help protect their backs?
That's a really key question. Understanding these breed-specific needs is vital for their welfare. And perhaps surprisingly for some, regular swimming is fantastic for them.
Swimming, really?
Yes. It's brilliant exercise because it builds up their core muscles, the muscles that support the spine and keeps them fit, but without the impact or strain you get from, say, jumping or running hard on land.
That makes sense. Low impact.
Exactly. So a lot of dedicated dachshund owners actually get their dogs used to water really early on. It's seen as preventative care, helping to build that muscular support structure their unique bodies need. It shows how owners really learn and adapt to give these dogs the best life, considering their specific physiology.
So when we look at everything, the badger hunter, the national symbol, the artist dog, the Olympic star, the slightly stubborn companion, What's the big takeaway? What does the Dachshund really represent?
I think if you had to boil it down to one thing, it's just sheer determination, persistence. You see it everywhere with them. Digging that hole like they're trying to reach the center of the earth. Barking nonstop until they get what they want. Stubbornly refusing to budge from the best spot on the sofa, even facing down something much bigger than them. They just embody this idea that you never, ever give up. They're just these little powerhouses of will.
Yeah. And, they might be small, but they leave this huge paw print on your life, don't they?
They're more than just pets. They're these quirky, brave little characters. And maybe they teach us something about resilience, sticking to your guns, and maybe the value of having a good loud bark when you need to make yourself heard. And they definitely demand attention. And once you start digging into their story, wow, there's just so much there. What an incredible journey we've had with the Dachshund today. Seriously. From this fierce badger hunter engineered, like you said, over 600 years ago, to a symbol of a nation, an Olympic mascot, an artist's muse, it really shows, doesn't it? There's so much more to these sausage dogs than just the cute exterior. So next time you see one strutting along like they own the place, maybe remember you're not just looking at a pet, you're looking at this living piece of history full of ingenuity, bravery, and incredible resilience. A real deep dive waiting right there on the leash.
Absolutely. And it kind of leaves you with a thought, doesn't it? How different would our view of the world be if we made a habit of looking past the surface? If we always tried to uncover the hidden stories, the original reasons behind the things, and even the creatures that we see every day, there's often this amazing narrative, this profound insight just sitting there waiting for us if we just, take a moment to look a bit deeper.